G'day Bodgies and Widgies and welcome back to the channel. I recently ended up getting goldfish. I ended up getting a lot of goldfish. Let me explain. So a couple of months ago, a viewer of this channel, one of you Bodgies and Widgies, reached out to me asking if I was able to adopt 2 of their goldfish. And whilst getting new goldfish wasn't necessarily on the top of my list for new fish to get, when someone is trusting me to go ahead and take care of 2 fish that they have very close sentimental value to, that's something that I'm not turning down. A couple of days later, I got dropped off 2 absolutely adorable little fancy goldfish called Mario and Luigi. And after seeing Mario and Luigi swimming around in my 4-foot shallow aquarium, I thought there was definitely room to add a couple of more goldfish into this tank. So yeah, I started off with 2 goldfish and now I have 9, but let me talk to you about where I got them from. And before we get into that, as always, let's quickly acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and the people that are managing our land as well. But let's continue on with the story. For probably 99% of aquarists, including myself, goldfish are probably the first fish that we ever kept in our aquariums. And we tend to move on after that to try out some other cool, different species. However, there are people that have dedicated their entire hobby to breeding goldfish. And because these fish have been in the aquarium hobby for so long, we've got some really cool, fancy strains that are now available. Mario and Luigi that I first put into this aquarium are what you call RANCHU Goldfish. And this is sort of like their strain or breed name, and this is similar to what you would see in the world of dogs with pugs or chihuahuas. You can tell that these fish are RANCHU goldfish with a few differentiating factors, the first of which is their body shape. When you look at Mario and Luigi, they've got a pretty round, stocky body. They almost look spherical, like they swallowed a golf ball. You'll notice that their spine is quite curved and they actually lack a dorsal fin. That's one of the main identifying features on this fish. All of their other fins are going to be pretty small and compact compared to the rest of their body. And when you see them swimming around in the water, it's almost like they're struggling or just like wiggling around in the water to move. And that is technically somewhat true. The other main defining factor is the bubbly growth on their face, and this is referred to as a wen. It's basically little bubbles of skin that's mostly centralized around the face, and depending on the genetics of each RANCHU, this can either be really big and bubbly, or pretty small and almost non-existent. That seems to be the case on the original 2 RANCHUs that went into this tank. Because there are dozens of strains of fancy goldfish that are now available in the aquarium hobby, I was in a little bit of a dilemma about what sort of fancy goldfish I should go in with this tank. I was originally thinking to go for a bit of a jumble, so we're looking at RANCHUs, or Randas, telescopes, or should I just go for a RANCHU only tank? It's a little bit obvious now as to what choice I picked. However, I wanted to have access to a very big catalogue of healthy goldfish, and there was one place that I could think of that absolutely nails that, and that is livefish.com.au. If this is your first time hearing about livefish.com.au, let me tell you that they're Australia's leading online aquarium store. They have a catalogue of fish that is updated on a daily basis, and the range of fish they have along with products is something that's probably more than what you would see in a physical shop, and that's because they operate completely online. They have the cheapest shipping prices of any online aquarium store that I've seen so far, and I've ordered probably over 200 different fish from them over the past 2.5 years. All of which I've made in previous unboxing videos. But let's actually go ahead and see the range of fancy goldfish they have. On the goldfish page, the range of different fish that are available is absolutely insane. We're looking at 12 different strains of goldfish, everything from your basic comet all the way to the RANCHUs that we are after. Along with that, there's probably around 70 different individual listings of fish that range in quantity, price, and size as well, so there's definitely something to cater for your individual needs. And once you've placed your order, that's basically all of your work done. You'll then receive regular updates as to when your order has been processed, packaged, and sent out, so you know exactly when your fish are going to arrive. And whilst it can be really daunting to receive a box of live fish delivered to your doorstep, the livefish.com.au team do have extensive information about their shipping and delivery process, along with their dead on arrival policy. So in the event that something was to go wrong with your order, you'll know exactly what to do in order to rectify any issues. However, after doing about 20 plus orders myself over the past 2.5 years, I've never once had an issue, and you can see all of that in the unboxing videos that I've done. Whilst I did sponsor the fish in this video, I'm not paid to say any of the things that I'm saying. They don't see this video earlier than you do, so this is completely from my personal experience. But with that being said, let's see what fish I ended up getting. After the fish arrived, I was super excited. It was almost like a mystery box because I didn't really see the exact colors of fish I would end up getting. So I cracked the box open and I've got to say, I'm pretty stoked with the colors of fish that I got. I went for an absolute range of different sizes, some really small fish that have the potential to mature into some really beautiful fish. And I also did get some more mature fish that have their colors a little bit more locked in. Let's start off with the biggest fish who I have named. His name is Blip and he is absolutely adorable. He's the largest rancher of the order and the colors on this fish are just stunning. We've got grays, reds, blacks, whites, oranges, you name it. And what's really cool is even though he is a full-grown fish, those colors have already started to change around a little bit as he's been in the aquarium. He's got these really beautiful iridescent scales that are just tatted throughout his body, and when he swims and catches the light, it's like he's almost sparkling. He's also the most personable fish in this tank. He's already hand feeding and he nibbles on my hand whenever I'm doing maintenance in the tank. I've quickly fallen in love with this fish and I just love how big and chunky he is. You'll notice that he is different to Mario and Luigi in the fact that his genetics are a little bit better. They're more like what you would want in a show grade fancy goldfish or stuff that you would actually look for in the genetics of a RANCHU. The back spine curve of his body is really stunning. He's got that big bubbly wen with all of these colors that are just seamlessly blended through. And I could talk about this fish forever. I then went for a basic bronze RANCHU, a total contrast to Blip. This is just what you would almost class as a feeder fish. It's just a completely uncolored natural bronze RANCHU. And I really do like the colors on this fish. They're a really cool mix of gold and brown, and they're a great contrast to all of the other brighter RANCHUs in this tank. There's also a black RANCHU who is another big contrasting fish, and black RANCHUs I'd say are probably my most favorite. I actually wanted to make sure that I definitely had a black RANCHU in this order, and I'm gonna say I love the black RANCHU that I have at the moment. I haven't named him yet. I'm thinking either Batman or Toothless, and he's a little tiny fella in the tank, but I just can't wait until he matures into the size that Blip is, and you've got this big jet black goldfish swimming around. I think it would look absolutely awesome. There's also a mix of other fish like a calico RANCHU. There are some really cool just deep orange and red RANCHUs, similar to what Luigi is. And there's also the tiniest RANCHU in this tank, who's a little tiny white RANCHU, and he's already developing little spots of orange. So I want to see how that matures and how this fish evolves, whether he looks similar to Mario in the tank or if he's completely different. But if you've got names for these fancy goldfish, let me know, because I love all of these fish individually, and naming them and just having a little army of fancies would be absolutely adorable. I am also considering to maybe add a few different strains to see how they all change and evolve and that sort of thing, just because I think fancy goldfish is an avenue that I might go headfirst into, considering how much I love these fish. Now, if you're like me and itching to add some more goldfish into your aquarium, or if you're looking to just keep goldfish for the first time, then the livefish.com.au team have got a really awesome offer for you. The first 10 people to go ahead and use the code BODGIEJULY23 will get 10% off all goldfish until the end of the month. It's only going to be for the first 10 people, and it does end at the end of this month, July, so make sure you go ahead and use that. It's BODGIEJULY23. That'll give you 10% off of all goldfish on the website, and it's definitely something you should take advantage of if you're looking to get some beautiful, healthy goldfish for your tank. Also, you know what's really weird? I have all of these RANCHUs in a tank absolutely chock-a-block with plants, and they haven't eaten a single plant in this aquarium, which is super cool because now I have a shallow goldfish planted tank, and it's almost like a pond when I see it from top down. I'm just loving the way this aquarium looks. Now, if you want to see any further goldfish being added into this tank, then make sure you give me your recommendations in the description down below, because I'll definitely make it happen considering how much I'm loving goldfish recently, which is also really weird because I'm generally a person that's attracted towards the more big, bland, brown, boring looking fish, but that's just the stuff that's always appealed to me. But seeing how beautiful and colourful these fish are, I definitely do want to add a couple of more strains into the tank. Now, if you did end up enjoying this video, then I'd highly appreciate if you did want to give it a thumbs up. You have the ability to subscribe as well, which will help me out in a massive way, but I'll leave that choice completely up to you. But that's essentially it from me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, stay happy, stay safe, stay Aussie Australian, Bodgie and the Goldfish out.